most of us just believe that if you love your country, love the land of Taiwan, it doesn't matter you belong to which party. You just join this movement and we just make our parliament better.
As we explained in our previous episode, Taiwan is on the brink of a major political upheaval as multiple directly elected lawmakers from the opposition Chinese Nationalist Party, or KMT, face possible early removal from office through an unprecedented series of recall votes scheduled for July 26th. This incredible development follows nearly 18 months of legislative gridlock, budgetary obstruction, and interference with Taiwan's highest court, including accusations of collusion with the Chinese Communist Party. Civil society organizations, together with the ruling Democratic Progressive Party, are leading efforts to unseat more than 20 opposition lawmakers, and if successful, the move could dramatically shift the balance of power in Taiwan's parliament. In this second episode in our series on Taiwan's Great Recall, we speak with representatives from one of the civil society groups backing the recall campaign. We explore what drives their involvement and hear their perspectives on some of the difficult questions in this great recall debate. Hello and welcome to Perspectives with Neilo. I'm your host, Neilo Sullivan. This is the second episode in our series on Taiwan's Great Recall, in which we aim to bring you perspectives from all sides of the debate at this important moment in Taiwan's democratic journey. In the first episode in this series, we spoke with Professor Chen Fangyu from Suzhou University in Taipei, who told us about the history of recall elections in Taiwan, the recall process, and the factors that have led to this latest and unprecedented mass recall effort. Feel free to go back and listen to that episode, which you can find on our blog at pwneilo.com or by searching for Perspectives with Neilo wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to hit that subscribe or follow button so you don't miss out on our forthcoming episodes. As we explained previously, since the last election in January of 2024, Taiwan's parliament, or Legislative Yuan, has been controlled by the Chinese Nationalist Party, or KMT, and their smaller ally, the Taiwan People's Party, who, according to opponents, have sought to block the ruling party's agenda, freeze or cut budgets, undermine Taiwan's constitutional order, and weaken efforts to bolster defense capabilities against growing Chinese military threats. The KMT insists that they are seeking to strengthen and protect Taiwan's democracy and say these recalls are politically motivated. They accuse the ruling Democratic Progressive Party, or DPP, of instigating the recall campaign, of mobilizing civic groups and attempting to use recalls to eliminate the opposition. On a Friday afternoon in early June, I met up with members of one of the pro-recall civic groups called Public Collaborative Tactics. The group I spoke with are based at Jinan Presbyterian Church in Taipei, which coincidentally is located right next door to the Legislative Yuan. I was really interested to find out how they all came together and what motivates their cause. I also wanted to hear their feelings about the Chinese Nationalist Party, or KMT, and if they had particular concerns about the party's behaviour. I also wanted to understand if they had connections with any political parties and how they were funded. But first, we started with a general introduction, and they told me how they all came together.
Okay, my name is Shang. Everyone call me Shang. Yes.
Okay. Hi, my name is Dan.
Okay. Hi, this is Kate.
Hi, my name is Yishuan.
So thank you all for taking the time to chat with me today. So you're all part of the Grand Recall movement, or one of the Grand Recall groups. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me a little bit about what do you call your group, and are you the founders? Maybe we'll start with you, Asha.
Okay. Our group is quite new, and our official name is Public Collaborative Tactics. Yeah, and we just established from last month. Yes, last month.
Yeah, the beginning of Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And why did you found this organization, Dan? Maybe I can ask you.
In fact, we were all Christian in this church, and our spirit is to share the faith to everyone in this country. So that's why we together to do something.
Okay. And Kate, were you one of the founders as well? You were involved from the beginning. How did you find out about it?
I know it from the thread, because I saw that they need the people to come, need a volunteer to here to help. Yeah, so I come here.
All right. So this organization then is just for people in Taipei, or is it for people all over Taiwan?
I believe it's all over Taiwan, but of course it's much convenient for the people who live in Taipei. So I would say that major people are living in Taipei.
And how many members would you say you have at this point?
I think we have around 60 people in our group.
Okay. So it's a fairly small group so far.
Yeah.
And those members, are they young, old, men, women? What's the kind of mix? Kate, you want to tell us?
我觉得我们都有
All kinds of people. I mean, old could
the range is
really
very
from 70s, and as young like just 20s. So it's quite generous spreading.
All generations.
Yeah, all generations.
So what motivated you to come together? I mean, what's the goal of the organization? What do you hope to achieve? I know you said you're about to go into stage 3 of this recall process. You know, many listeners in other countries may not be aware what that is, but, you know, why participate? Why have a group to get involved in this recall process?
Well, actually, since we are in 3rd stage right now, but actually we knew each other from maybe the 2nd stage, and some of us just joined the Grand Recall movement from the 1st stage. So I would say it's like a developing movement process, like everyone join or participate this great movement for quite a long time, yes. And you would say that goal, of course, we believe, we hope that we can recall all these KMT, 国民党 lawmakers, I could say that, yes.
And what is it these lawmakers do that make you feel like, we need to recall them? What are the type of things that cause you to have this feeling?
Because when all these KMT people, they were up from last year, they changed somehow the constitution. So all our Legislative Yuan or all other country, they can't process the how can I say? They can't run the government or our country in the normal process. So that's why we want to change things, what happened in our Legislative Yuan.
I can support that. Since March 2024, means last year, the KMT and majority party in Taiwan's Congress, Parliament, they have teamed up with the Taiwan People's Party and small party. They proposed two big bill. One is the Parliament reform bill, and another is the 3 transportation laws in Hualien and Taitung, and triggering a series of conflict because most of them are not what we expect they would do in their session. Yet they do that, and they also have some really serious physical conflicts during the session. So we were so angry that most of us just came out last summer, yes. And since that, and I believe there are 3 times of big scale, over 30,000 people. They joined and protested with the parliament around the parliament, and that's why. And even now, during their second sessions, they even worse, and they just give another make efforts to intensify it. Like just put the 3 major bills to try to change our constitution and try to expand their power. And they also want to cut our budget of our government. And that really piss off us.
Okay. Anybody want to add anything else to that? Are there particular things that like you felt that they did or they've been doing that make you really upset and make you want to recall them?
Because no justice, that is Yuan, 立法院
There's no justice in our
就
Congress,
是
in
没
our
有
parliament.
遵照多数决啊，没有好好没有讨论，不是民主。
And one
No discuss.
no discussion, no democracy.
Yeah.
Because in this parliament, they just put anything they want, and they have no willing to discuss with another party. That's just like DPP. And that means that they took everything they want, and they don't consider other people's thinking or willing or opinion. And we don't think that's democracy. We like the democracy should be everyone sit down and talk about it and give their opinion, and then okay, maybe you can make a negotiation. There's no negotiation, so I think it's quite violent.
People also say, or people commenting, I see in the newspaper, say they also betray Taiwan, that they are not loyal to Taiwan, they're not protecting Taiwan.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, they're too close to China.
They're too close to China.
Yeah, Kuomintang.
And why do you say that? I mean, what do you see or hear them
Because
say?
they always go to China to visit someone who we don't know. Yeah, like Wang Huning. 他是什么职位啊？ 上海。
He's member of the Politburo, CCP Politburo.
And
So many 很多那个国民那个立法委员那个。
many congressmen they were meeting with the China's office, and yet we don't know anything what they are talking about, what they are negotiating with, and we don't know what's the goal of the visiting. So we know nothing about that.
And so, just again, for listeners who may be in other countries,
Yes.
why is the opposition party building links with China and the Chinese government? Why do you think that's not good for Taiwan?
Because China has been showed their intention to occupy Taiwan, to force with us, and they will maybe just attack us. So that's why we are feeling so upset, and it's really insecure if you see some people, like some politician, they just went to China and means friendly and shows their respect to China's government. That would be really upset and uncomfortable.
Dan, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, but I think almost with her, because we know all these congressmen who involved such in with KMT, maybe they got some benefit from China. That's why they go close to China that so much. And we think maybe China make some promise to them if China take over Taiwan or something. Yeah, that's it.
And one of the bills that one of the spending bills that they vote on, they vote on to reduce defense spending. So this is, I guess a lot of people say that's quite unusual, given China has more military activity around Taiwan. But I'm curious, as Christians, how do you feel about that? Because it's kind of a difficult question, isn't it, for Christians, insofar as spending on military is not, some Christians may have a problem with that, but on the other hand, you need to defend yourself. So what do you think about that question?
Because Bible tell us we have to justice and love. It's the balance. So we need to 保护呢 protect
Protect.
yeah our land. It's the basic sense. Yeah. In my opinion, Taiwan is already independent country. So China for us is another country. In common sense, other countries have no necessary to interrupt the other countries' rule or law or everything. It's really common sense. Yeah.
Yeah, we also have many. We meet a lot of other pro-China Christian. They also say like that we are Christian and we should be peace.
No,
no
fact
force, no
peace.
violence,
Yeah.
such as things. But I don't think that way because self-defense is quite. I think it's like just a natural right, and you have to self-defense, and then you can to love or protect people or the land you want. So that's ridiculous that when you face the threats from the outside, from the enemy, and if you surrendered, and how could you protect your belief? Especially the CCP don't have the religion freedom under their governance. So I think for every Christian, they should ask themselves: did you see how Christian in China they are under pressures like they are illegal? I don't think that's a good way to protect your belief. Yes.
So this is why you think that reducing the military spending for Taiwan is not a good idea, and you don't support the KMT calling for that.
Yes, and that would be a really key point because every time we talk about this topic on the street, and people will give you some look because I think they have same feeling with us. Yeah.
So onto that, the ordinary day-to-day work then on the street that your organisation does. Can you tell us a little bit about what does that involve, right? The day-to-day work of your group in the lead up to this recall. What does that involve?
From recent days, we go on the street and we try to say something to the street people, go to vote on July or August. Yeah.
So you urge people to vote. Do you hand out flyers and do you get signatures and things like that as well?
Signature is already finished on the second stage. Right now we just prepare
Prepare for
opinion.
vote.
Yeah, yes, prepare our opinion and our I think so. Yeah.
So your group was informed when they were doing the earlier step 1 and step 2 process.
Stage 2, we are already here. Yeah.
So that required 10% of the electorate to sign to say, they want a recall.
Yeah.
So did you collect signatures and things like that?
Yes, and it's all over the country. Yeah, because not every consistency is good or friendly to this recall group. So we hope we help people that they don't need to come out with their political opinion. They just come to church and sign the paper quietly and leave. So no one will know their opinion or the tendency on political cause. Yeah.
So the one question I want to ask then about this is quite a bit of activity to travel around the country, to talk to people, either to help them or help collect signatures and so on. How is your work funded? I mean, that takes money. I know you're all volunteers, but if you need money for flyers or for little gifts like this you hand out, how do you fund it? How is it funded?
There's always a sponsors with our name. Yeah, that would be interesting. Like, I need some stamps to mail this paper, and when I say, we run out the stamps and on the internet, and magically that people will send all over the country, and they will mail you the stamps, give you, and you can use it. So always that. When we like something, we just speak it out on the internet, by internet, and the KOL will speak up for us, and then people will give their insource to us.
So these are kind of anonymous donations.
Yes, yes.
Do you have any bigger name sponsors or supporters?
Yes, just our church. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we've talked a little bit about the recall process then, and you've talked about the third step. Can you tell me a little bit more about what happens in this next step now, this final step we're coming up to?
Actually, the next step, I will talk about the current step. That means stage 3, the third stage is for voters to decide whether to recall their congressman or not. When the numbers of votes in favor is more than the number of against, and the favor votes is more than 25% of the total number of the constituency voters, and the district congressman can be officially recalled, and he or she cannot run the same Congress seats in next 4 years. So now we are working on. Yeah.
And I believe, again, from reading in the local newspapers and so on, that 26 KMT lawmakers have made it to this point. There are 26 of them on that list that will go through stage 3.
Yes, yes, yes. There are 31 recall. Yes, right. 31 recall group try making their goals, and right now 26 is already finished their goals. So I think 26 is quite a lot.
And all of these are KMT. Nobody from the TPP or nobody from the DPP.
Oh, they tried, but they failed. They tried to do the same thing, but the recall is not so successful.
But you don't support recalling any of the DPP politicians.
Yes, because we don't support or any against pro-democracy. Yes, yeah.
This is one of the questions, though, that I think some people say is that that the DPP is organising all of this. So in other words, that maybe there are people in your group who are members of the DPP party, and therefore, the DPP tells its members to organise these groups and get this recall going. What would you say to that?
As I know, I think DPP party, they are willing to do that, but they can't on the stage 2 or 3 because it's their strategy to hold the organization, and especially they run the country, so they can't do so that show up their willing on this stage. So that's why we think what they do right now is they will do more on the stage 4, but not on the stage 3. Yeah.
So are there DPP members in your group, for example?
member 就是有党证那个算对啊。
Asu is a member of the DPP party, but she is just the common member, not with any official work. No. Yeah.
But you said you have 60 members. How many others would there be members of the DPP?
Maybe 60个里面只有他一个吧？
谁？
She's the only one. Yeah, I believe she's the only one.
核心吗？
没有，全部的志工。
牧师也不是吗？
牧师也不是啊。
他没有党证哦。
没有吧 ？Priest 有吗？
牧师呢？
牧师呢？
为什么不行？那没有。
他有吗？
长老教会没有规定不行。
我
老板就有呢。我老板也是牧师，
There's
他就
6
有
people in our group, but there's only one.
Oh, 1 year.
With DPP membership.
All right. So from your point of view, you're just ordinary citizens. You're unhappy with some of the people that are elected, and you're just voicing your opinion to have them recalled.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, there are other opposition parties forming or coalitions forming. Recently, I hear about Dongwei. maybe you can help me pronounce that correctly, but they call themselves the New Outsiders, made up of politicians and academics, people like Kao Chin Sume, Zhao Xiaokong, Liao Yan Hao. They say the DPP are the new oppressor. That's what they say about. That's their view. What's your response to that?
他说侧翼啊，
没有，他就说都问你对党外人士，他们觉得他们说就是要对抗那个独裁的民进党，你对这个有什么意见？
民进党没有独裁啊。知道怎么讲？我不知道怎么讲。
Oh, okay. All of us don't. We have totally not agree with them what they claim,
so,
and we don't think so because we think that they call themselves about 党外. Actually, it's quite I would say the insult action to us because 党外 is for us to have some history meanings, especially as for when Taiwan wasn't democracy and it's under the KMT's the pressures and we don't have election at that time, and people also not allowed they were not allowed to make a party. So they call and say the only legal party is the KMT. So that's why people who want democracy, they call themselves the outside party because they have no right to make their own party. So when they say when this new group say they are 党外, that's ridiculous because now Taiwan have so many hundreds of parties and you can say that you are the outside, the only one party. That's ridiculous.
But Taiwan is a democracy. Any of these parties can try to get elected if they want.
Yes.
So there's no real outsider anymore.
Yes.
Let me say, such the 党外 is only one way CCP is doing all over the world. Especially they do in Hong Kong. There's so much parties in Hong Kong a couple years ago, before what they call revolution or something happened in 2019. But what they're doing in Taiwan is the same. We have 民众党, 党外 or something else. So this is only the one. I think the CCP they try to what the strategy they try to control Taiwan political situation. So only this is the way they're doing.
So the problem is, of course, that all of these parties create fragmentation. They break people into smaller groups. And sometimes they call this divide and conquer, you know. Do you worry about that this is going to be a problem? I mean, what are your thoughts on where this will go or whether it will be a problem later if there's an election or maybe during the recall voting process?
I would say like I will be optimism. I would be say optimism because in this during the this grand recall movement, we also touched many people who used to vote to 国民党 the KMT, but right now yet they joined and they signed the paper during this recall movement. So not all of the members of KMT or their voters support what they did in this parliament. So I would say that it's okay if you love. I think most of us just believe that if you love your country, love the land of Taiwan, and it doesn't matter you belong to which party, you just join this movement and we just make our parliament better and to how to say that to make it normal again, that would be okay. Yeah.
So do you think there's a role then for civil society groups like yours to bring people together?
Yeah, I think it would be finally I believe that we can unite it together. Yeah, I will say that. Yeah.
What do you worry most about in terms of the future now, in terms of the turmoil and the performance of some of these politicians and so on? And there's a whole load of things going on as well with influencers going to China, people from Taiwan who have a lot of influence with younger people here. Are there things like that worry you in terms of what could happen in the future, Dan?
I think what you just said, I think we will be divided by CCP very easy, because our democracy is very young, very weak. The constitution law and all our legislative process were not that strong enough, because our country were built from 1949, but suddenly it comes to democracy in couple years. We don't have such the war, such like the European war or something. So people in Taiwan, they don't understand the truth of democracy. They just enjoy the right, but they don't pay any to democracy. That's why we were easy to be divided by CCP.
I think, though, democracy everywhere is very vulnerable to those type of forces, isn't it? I mean, because it's open and there's free speech and everybody can say their thoughts, it is vulnerable to these type of attacks.
Yeah, I think so. Especially they're really good at on the using media. Yeah, especially on the Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and TikToks, especially that. And many young people were they are influenced by these media and these films and about these fake news, especially. Yeah, and so that's why we think we should build some fighting back to strong our democracy and clear all these fake news that make people know the truth. Yeah. Actually, just like Dan what said before, that Taiwan's democracy is quite young. Maybe I would say young, like it's over 30 years right now, and we don't have any bloody revolution process, and we don't kill anyone, and it's just really peaceful transformation, and that's why maybe many people in Taiwan, they don't know the true value of democracy. And they think that what they get or what they live is almost like truth, and it wouldn't change. But in fact, China's threaten prove that democracy is not so easy or it's not a natural right or human right. Actually, you have to pay, you have to work out, and you have to make effort to keep yourself and your next generation to still living in this under the democracy. So I would say that China's threaten actually is give a chance to Taiwanese people, to make them to think about what kind of a government or what kind of a society do you want to live. I think it's make people to think and then make a choice.
That's Shan Shang, as well as Dan, Kate, and Yiswan from Jinan Church in Taipei, who are members of the Public Collaborative Tactics Recall movement, speaking with me in early June. My sincere thanks to all of them for sharing their valuable insights with us on Perspectives with Neilo. In upcoming episodes on this topic, we will be talking to a KMT representative to hear the party's official position on the Great Recall, as well as to participants at a recent KMT anti-recall rally in Taipei. So make sure you subscribe and follow us on your favourite podcast app, as we plan to bring you continued updates in advance of the official recall vote, which has been set for July 26th. We would also love to hear your feedback on the topics discussed, and you can leave your comments on our social media pages or on the Perspectives with Neilo page of your favourite podcast app. We're also posting additional video content on Instagram and YouTube, so make sure you're subscribed to Perspectives with Neilo on all of these platforms so you don't miss out. You can find links to all of our social media pages on our blog at pwneilo.com. That's pwneilo.com. But that's where we leave it for now. As always, thank you for listening, and until the next time, from Taipei, Taiwan, Zai Tian.